Oh, no, no, no. This is incredibly intense. It's a little dicey right now. It would be, I think a lot of the issues we can handle by there's always going to be yeah, the Jingshan basically teach English, I talk English and so it was actually good because I did a lot of
When my wife, she mentioned them many times, and
all of this exactly mouth shape because they all talk being very horizontal and that's not good for English. They'll go back. Fantastic. It's the closest thing to
don't need to worry about any last minute emails.
I won't even share. So because they talk about it all the time. But I will say on.
I'll check. I'll talk to you. Yeah.
Then went to Spanish, one class, and then COVID came, so couldn't even go to Spain.
I stayed at her brother's Spring Festival fireworks. Yes, I don't know if the kids are coming.
music teacher outfit.
Yeah, all the teachers wear they wear a lot of them wear jeans. It's not like super formal unless you wear jeans.
Someone who's wet hair.
Yeah.
That's
I am with that kind of stuff.
the opening remarks in Chinese.
So your year's gone well?
Just left it. Really arrived in a couple weeks. China.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Right. At least temporarily did a relationship with Paris exchange.
It's on our schedule. So it's 1.5 hours of like we would have been like, it would have been impossible to not be in our program. Because it's so unfortunately, there's just that 20 hours. Because the year before, like, she took COVID.
Marseille is
What did you guys do?
that would be
I did. Yeah, we definitely did music online. And then in September. We went to we sang the town at the New Orchestra in the town. So we did a lot of that. So it was
Well, that must have been kind of nice actually to have business as usual, because I found like as much as like it still felt then like everyone paid attention. It was also really like we weren't
we had our Italian exchange was there. So that was the first decision that David Fleishman and I had to make was, do they come to school? And we decided we were like foreign students. We said they had a quarantine for 2 weeks. And then we were shut down. So that was the first decision. And in China, I get this reminder of us doing a celebration for Jingshan. In the auditorium, raising money for the auditorium was packed. No masks, just sit down. Yes. And then we postponed our students going there because they didn't have housing. So we said, we got a lot of heat for positive. Thank goodness. Right. Awesome. It's a program. There's most students in our but nevertheless,
Probably right.
we're interested, they're interested in it.
There might be more people than you. What is this that I hear about one-on-one instruction to the Chinese teacher?
It's during an extension of the Monday, which is taken. It's taken if I don't, I can't do it. That's fine. Drama is on day one. The same thing happened last year with band.
I see.
Yes, I'm the principal here.
But I can't. It's not a question of whether I want to, it's a question of do I have the time? And the answer is no.
Okay, so I really think that it's make fun. I'm going to start. I'm going to learn more. Because when you say Chinese, you know, it's good for something to be done. It's hard. But maybe I get the
That's right.
That is actually a good Beijing.
Now we open the door. Otherwise, you have a lot of videos.
Your wife is not here tonight. Oh, she is, okay. Please say hi to her. Yeah, that's such a fun memory of her. She was so much fun to work with. Years ago, 10 years ago.
So, Chris, the old gentleman in front, is Newton North High School World Language Department Chair. But there is also a Newton South World Language Department Chair.
Well, not for both high schools. You just say program.
Welcome to our Friends of the Exchange annual event. I want to give a special welcome to our exchange honoree, Jim Marie and his wife, Leslie. And also to Jeffrey Cantor, who is the son of Claire and Dick Cantor, who more than 40 years ago lit a spark that began our exchange with the Jingshan School in Beijing. Jeffrey. As evidence of the power of the connection made over the years, we have many old friends from the Jingshan School with us tonight, present via Zoom. We are especially appreciative of their willingness to join us at 7:00 a.m. Beijing time, even as they prepare for a day of work. I'm going to apologize in advance that my pronunciation of the Chinese names might be a little jockey. We have former principal Fan Luyan. We have Principal Chu Yu. We have Program Director Cheng Hong and Department Chair Liu Tao with us via Zoom. Also, a special welcome to our administrators from the Newton Public Schools. We have school committee member Anping Shen here.
Thank you.
We have interim superintendent Kathleen Smith. Assistant Superintendent Toby Romer. We have Newton North High School Principal Henry Turner. Newton South High School Principal Tammy Strauss is joining us via Zoom also. Newton North World Language Department Head Chris Wood. Newton South World Language Department Head Suzanne Murphy. And Middle School Foreign Language Coordinator Allison Tarvell. one school committee member. Chris Betsky, so welcome. To our administrators especially, but to everybody present, the support that you have provided fosters the curiosity and connection between our schools and our countries. As when Jim Marini both welcomed the Jingshan delegations and supported and encouraged the Newton Public School students and teachers to embark on the exchange, your guidance and encouragement continue to matter. I read a book recently called The Yellow Envelope, and in this book, a couple uproots themselves from their American lifestyle and embarks on a year of worldwide travel. In this book, Kim Dynan says, "This is the irony of travel. The bigger distance between you and the familiar grow, the smaller and safer and friendlier the world felt." And I think that kind of encompasses a lot of how we feel when we go on the exchange, that the world seems very big and scary, and you get there and it feels like you are home there as well as you are home here. I want to end my remarks with a poem called Passing the Torch. The poem is by Reinhardt. The humble flame that empowers the chosen survives through the ages. The flame guides them to lead others, to help those lost in the darkness. Those who bear the flame, they are given many responsibilities. The flame draws the confused and lost to give them hope through its representative. Alas, man is not immortal, so the time will come that he must relinquish the flame. Many will be saddened by the change, but may their eyes remain toward the flame. Its embers still burn in the previous host as it takes residence in its successor. Thou who pass the flame, embrace the new path before you. Thou who receives the flame, take heart the lessons you learn. May the chosen believe in the successor. May the successor surpass the chosen's expectations. Before I turn over the torch to our next person, I just want to say that the bathrooms are down this hallway. And we are passing over to Ken Hamilton, who is joining us via Zoom.
Thank you, Carol. I'm very honored to be here this evening. I wish I could be there in person. But I'm honored because I've been asked to introduce 4 people who have been good friends to this exchange for a long time. They are all administrators from the Jingshan School. They have, each in their own way, been friends to this exchange and carriers of that torch that was lit by Claire Cantor and Fan Hui almost 40 years ago. First, I want you to meet Mr. Fan Lian. Mr. Fan has been a friend to this exchange since the very earliest days. He's participated in a myriad of roles. Assistant principal of Jingshan for the first exchanges, to the principal many years after that, and to an exchange with teacher Juan in 1994. Fan Lian now oversees the growing complex of satellite schools that Jingshan has formed. Mr. Fan is an unfailingly kind and generous host to our visiting students, teachers, and administrators. He's a hard-working person, ever curious and friendly. His contributions to the exchange are legion. Plus, I can attest that he is an accomplished chef with a multitude of Chinese specialties. We all welcome you here tonight, Mr. Fan. Next, I'd like to introduce Principal Chu. Peter, as a affectionately known to us in Newton, is currently principal at Jingshan School. In the fall of 2003, Principal Chu and a science teacher at Jingshan came to Newton with another teacher, Leo Tao, as the chaperones of that year's contingent of Chinese students. Today, Peter Chu continues carrying the torch as principal and also dedicated host of the various exchange groups and the various visitors from Newton that have the good fortune to participate. Now I would like to meet Ms. John. Ms. John is always extremely busy because she oversees so many aspects of the international exchanges of Jingshan. She has long known how Jingshan to arrange the myriad of details required for both the Jingshan and the Newton exchange groups. She consistently responds to our requests for assistance in a timely fashion. Despite the many difficulties operating an international exchange between these two countries, Ms. John has always come through with solutions. Last, but by no means least, is Leah White, an exchange teacher in the fall of 2003 with Peter Chu. She was an English teacher with them at Jingshan and now serves as head of that department. Shirley, as we know her, has provided the exchange for the myriad of services, such as live translations of speeches or assistance in communication between our two school systems. Shirley can always be counted on to get to the heart of the issue and unravel cultural differences or perplexing questions. She's an invaluable source of help and information. Please warmly welcome our guest administrators from the Jingshan School. We had the pleasure of shadowing Jim Marini, who was then principal of Newton High School, and they became fast friends. They would like to do some reminiscing of their past experiences together.
Bear with me, I need to get onto the WeChat. So I'm going to translate for Mr. Fan, who is going to have a conversation with Jim. So Jim and Mr. Fan could have a dialogue or just to say hi to each other and maybe have a reminiscence of some memories.
麦校长，那您现在准备好跟 Jim 对话了吗？
He's ready. Would you like to come up?
对。
Jim is calling Mr. Fan little fun.
Tell him, who dyes his hair?
校长，Jim 想问您，您的头发是谁给染的呀？
我是头发呀，全都发白了。
So his hair was all white, so he got it.
没有变，还有一种精神呀。
He said, you haven't changed at all.
That's the Chinese way.
他说您太客气了。
I do want to tell one story. Can I tell one story?
Sure.
Tell him I want to see if he remembers.
范校长，Jim 他说他想讲一段往事，看看您还记不记得？
好的。
Okay, tell him I want him to remember it the way I remember it.
他说他想用他所记得的这个故事来跟您讲一讲。看起来您跟他这好像记得的不太一样啊。
We were having this discussion, Mr. Flan and I were having this discussion about Marco Polo.
他跟您有一个关于马可波罗的一个讨论。
And we were trying to decide whether Marco Polo on his trip around the world, did he bring ravioli to China? And the Chinese said, we'll call this jiaozi.
Jim 说他跟您有一个关于马可波罗的讨论。当马可波罗环游世界的时候，是他把这个意大利的这个饺子一样的东西带到中国呢，还是中国把饺子送给了马可波罗？
Or did Marco Polo discover jiaozi and bring that back to Italy, and it was called ravioli?
还是马可波罗在中国发现了饺子的美味，带回意大利，变成了这个意大利的这种饺子？
So we decided we would go to Zhao Jingji's house.
所以呢，他跟您就去了赵晶晶老师的家。
And we would make ravioli or jiaozi.
然后呢，您就跟 Jim 一起做了中国的饺子，还是这个意大利的这种包着馅儿的这种饺子。
So we had a contest.
然后他跟您有一个比赛，
Mr. Fan and me.
就是您跟 Jim 比赛，看谁包饺子包得快还是好。
And we made jiaozi.
他跟您做了一个意大利和中国式的这个饺子的这个结合体。
Does he remember?
您还记得吗？
我记得很清楚。
You remember vividly.
主要是他考察呀，他环游世界以后啊，在中国学到了、吃到了饺子，他感觉到这个味道变了，而且啊，不知道这个馅儿怎么进去。
好，您等一下，我帮您翻。
好。
So Mr. Fan said Marco Polo, when he was going around the world, he went to China and discovered jiaozi family and felt it was very tasty, but he had no idea how the filling got in. 好，您讲。
然后他呢，把这个中国的饺子带到了意大利。
So he brought the food back.
I knew he would remember his.
Jim 说他已经想到了，您一定是说的是这个方式，就是您记得是这样，但是 Jim 记得是意大利的马可波罗把饺子带到中国。
意大利中国人说呀，他们都是在中国学到的这个吃到的美味的饺子，所以他们也很感兴趣。
He said Italians are very appreciative of Chinese cuisine.
再说两句。
您讲。If you want to say something.
我说你，我说你好，我呀现在就坐在你曾经来我们家吃饭的这个位置，你还记得吗？
He's asking you whether you remember he's sitting exactly where you were at his house eating dinner.
I do.
他记得，他记得。
We sang songs.
他跟您一起唱过歌。
是的，而且说的这是长的饺子。
对不起，您再讲一下尝到什么饺子？
他坐在那边尝到了之前我们专门给他包的这个中国饭式的饺子。
And he said you also tasted the fun style dumpling.
Absolutely. The fun style dumplings were out there. They were the Marco Polo dumplings that shaved fun.
他说是马可波罗饺子。
Does he remember us singing?
您记得一起唱过歌吗？
记得的。
You remember?
We were singing. Erwin's going to remember this. Erwin and his wife Debbie were there, and we were singing an Italian song in Chinese.
他唱了一首意大利的歌曲，但是是用中文唱的。
I could hum a few bars now.
他可以给您唱两句。
唱两句，我跟你一块唱。
He's gonna sing with you.
See, we compare with Mr. Sway and Mr. Fun.
所以薛先生跟您一起，是不是用意大利语还唱了两句啊？
是的。
Yeah.
If you say so. But when Mr. Fun came to New York, he gave his opening speech in English. As we do.
Jim 想问您，您还记得吗？您到牛顿北高中的时候，您是用英文做的介绍。
当时啊，场面，当时他是这个我们一眼就在现场。
He said you were
而且他是一个校长当时。
And you were the principal.
Yes, yes. And he was speaking English.
哎，您当时讲的是英文。
Yeah. When I went to China in 2010, I thought I should give my speech in Chinese.
所以2010年他到北京的时候，他还以为他要用中文来做演讲。
So I talked to Jay Guy.
所以呢 ，Jim 就问了我们的高杰老师。
She was coaching me.
高杰老师就一直在教Jim 怎么发中国的这个拼音。
And I tried to give a speech in Chinese.
然后 Jim 就尝试着用中文做演讲。
But all I could remember was 唯有一张杯。
我记得的一句话，唯一的一句话就是“为友谊干杯 ”，Cheer for the friendship。Mr. Fan said, so you can, even though you can only say one sentence in Chinese, and he can say only a few lines in English, but all these meanings are embedded into our program.
看到老朋友啊，特别的高兴。我很想念大家。
He misses you.
Oh, I miss him. I miss him terribly.
他也特别想念您。
One more story.
还有一个。
I was not able, when I was speaking with the interpreter, a little better tonight, but when I was speaking with the interpreter, I was not giving space for the interpreter to be able to say the words in Chinese.
所以他现在他觉得自己做得好一点了。以前呢，他在做英文演讲的时候，并没有给翻译官一点时间让他们来翻译。
So I just get right on top, and the poor interpreter she was really upset because she felt it was short.
结果这个翻译的老师呢，当时觉得非常的不好，因为他觉得是因为他自己的错，没有跟得上Jim的这个英语的演讲。
So the next day we went to lunch. Mr. Fan, Mr. Chu, some of the teachers, we went to the park.
所以第二天呢，您跟 Jim 还有朱老师一起去吃中饭。
And I had to ask Mr. Fan for his forgiveness.
所以 Jim 当时向您请求，请您原谅他。
And I told him normally I would go to my priest.
通常他会去他的这个教堂的这个牧师那里去忏悔。
But being in China, I went to Mr. Fan.
他就到您那儿忏悔去了。
And he told me I was forgiven.
然后您说您原谅他。
我认你过奖了。
有一样。
我翻译一下。
您说。
我认你过奖了。
You were.
一样。
You're over exaggerating this. 他说这是中国人比较谦虚的说法。
我也经常的向你来忏悔，我的英语说的不好。
He is also asking for your forgiveness.
He is forgiven.
好吧，那 so can we just wrap up?
Yeah.
所以范校长，我们您再跟Jim 打个招呼，然后我们就请邱校长和张主任讲话，好吗？
好，Jim，我非常的想念你啊！咱们这个疫情过去，邀请你来中国，来我们学校做客。我们要坚持我们景山和农村的友好的交往，继续为我们下一代的这个成长，咱们提供更好的交换和交流的环境和条件。谢谢，欢迎我们美国朋友们来北京，来景山学校。
So he said to Mrs. Yu very much. After pandemic, we would like to invite you to go over visit him in Beijing, and he wishes that the exchange program will continue. And he is inviting American friends to go over and visit Jingshan School. 他一定去，他还会把 Urban 带上一起去。
And if I know the Newton schools at all, he can rest assured that the exchange program really has a bright future past COVID. In fact, they're doing the exchange. It makes a huge difference in the lives of our students, of our staff, and of the community. It's a very important exchange. It's so wonderful to see Mr. Fan. We are friends half a world away.
Jim 说，他也非常高兴见到您。他也说，这个我们的交换项目对于老师和学生的影响非常深远。他觉得我们的项目的未来非常光明。那么疫情之后呢，他希望我们继续能够坚持下去。他说我们的师生的这个团结会越来越强。Very good.
Very good. It's so wonderful. Beyond words, I'm actually emotional to see Mr. Fan again. Because the first time I met Mr. Fan was 1996. It's a long time ago.
他说他现在非常的感动，因为第一次见到您是1996年的时间。呀，好吧，那范校长，您看您还有没有什么其他的要跟Jim说？如果没有，我们就请邱校长和张主任讲话。
我再说两句啊。
好，you have a couple of sentences.
现在呀，这个我已经退休了。
He has retired.
这个还有景山学校叫银传的工作。
He's working on the corporation of Jingshan.
你给他解释一下。
好，我跟他讲了，您继续讲吧。
莫瑞尼呢，现在你也退休了，但是你也一直从事着我们东北景山和牛顿的友好交往的我们的交换的工作。
So you, even though you're retired, you're also involved in the exchange program with China.
但是呢，我们这个友好的交往事业呢，要不断的传承下去。现在我们的邱校长，又接着给人搞一项工作，您那儿呢有新的教育总监接着人的工作，希望我们这个两家中国和景山这个景山和我们牛顿这友好交往能够更好的继续发展下去。
So Mr. Fan said, with the new principal Cho and our school new administration, he really hopes that our program will continue growing in next year.
Absolutely. Just wonderful comments and really touches the heart of everybody in this room, minus this.
他说：“您讲的话非常非常感动，真正打动了他的心。所以我们一定会把这个项目搞得越来越好。
我相信我们这个景山和牛顿的友谊像中国的长江和美国的密西西比河一样，会源远流长。”
He said the exchange program is going, and this friendship is going to be like Yangtze River in China or Mississippi River in America, keeps flowing and forever.
Perfect. He's a poet.
他说您是一个诗人。
我都跟我瑞丽学的。
He learned it from you.
，Thank you very, very much.
非常感谢您。好吧，那我们现在请邱校长讲话，可以吗？好，谢谢。So we're gonna have Principal Cho to have a speech.
牛顿学区景山学校友好交流项目的所有老朋友、新朋友，大家好。
邱校长，你想我帮您翻译，还是刘老师帮您翻译？我来翻译吗？可以，我来翻译。So I'll translate. 好。
牛顿学区景山学校友好交流项目的所有老朋友、新朋友，大家好。
So all friends and new friends from Newton Public School and the community, everybody, good evening.
我是 Peter， 见到大家我非常高兴。
I'm very nice to meet you. My name is Peter.
我非常非常想念大家。
I miss people very much.
我永远不能忘怀2003年9月，我和 Shirley 带着6名同学到牛顿参加了4个月的交流项目。
He will never remember. He will never forget. He will never forget. In 2003, September 2003, Peter and Shirley, who's on the Zoom as well, they brought 6 students to Newton for exchange.
得到了教育局官员、所有学校的校长、老师、所有接待家庭的热情的接待和非常周到上细致的安排。
The group received a warm welcome from the Newton Public School Administration and host families.
特别是我的这位家庭的爸爸妈妈、爸爸和 Dan， 还有他们2个孩子 Justin 和 Jingshan。
Especially my host family, Barbara and Justin. Barbara and Justin, and then 2 children.
爸爸和 Dan 这2个孩子是 Justin 和 Jingshan。
Okay, so especially thank you to my host parents, Barbara and then their 2 children.
我想这个交流项目给每一位参与其中的人都会留下美好而难忘的记忆。
He thinks that the exchange program has left a very beautiful memory for everyone.
无论是这个济南学校的友好交流项目，是中国第一所与美国学校建立友好交流关系，并在实施互访的友好的先例。
So our exchange program is the first of the nation between the two secondary schools between U.S. and China.
济南学校落实邓小平同志教育要面向现代化、面向世界、面向未来提出的重要的嘱托。
It is also to follow President Deng Xiaoping's 4 forwards towards
大家知道
modernization.
这个，
Yeah, 你讲。
大家知道这个题词明年就整整40周年了。这不仅对学校意义重大，也是中国教育改革发展的一个重要里程碑。
So by next year, the words from Deng Xiaoping is going to be the 40th year anniversary, and they marked the modernization of Chinese education system.
我想，我们友好交流的项目至少有3个方面的重要的意义和作用。
Our exchange has the following 3 important aspects.
第一是促进了我们学校之间、老师之间的相互学习、相互交流和相互分享，学习到了彼此先进的学校教育理念、学校管理、课程设置、学校文化等等方面。
First one is to promote mutual learning experience between teachers and students, to share pedagogy, to share various cultures.
我还清楚地记得，我的老师 Smith 就科学教育进行了非常深入的交流和学习。
He still remember from a science teacher, Mr. Smith, they had a very in-depth exchange in the science pedagogy.
这些经验直到今天对我都有很大的帮助。
These experiences have been impacted my own life until today.
在牛顿的4个月和我自身的教育经历，使我认识到教育最重要的3个词是尊重、信任和鼓励。
From the 4 months for the 4 months I have been in Newton, and also my education background taught me the 3 important words in education, which are respect, trust, and encouragement.
而最重要的核心是爱。
But the core of all is love.
第2个是培养学生的国际视野、综合素养和多元文化的理解、包容能力。
The second important goal or mission for the exchange is to cultivate global view and multiculturalism among students.
使很多同学都对自己有了更充分的了解，对自己的发展规划有了更清晰的认识。
This has enabled students to foster their own self-identity and plan for future paths.
我的同班同学吴丹海就是通过交流项目，他确定了要学习法律，成为一名律师，并且在美国工作。
His classmate Wu Danhai, who went through the program, which enabled him to realize he is passionate about law. Therefore, he became a lawyer. Now is practicing law in America.
第3是增进了我们牛顿和北京普通老百姓人民的交流和友谊，相互的了解和相互的感知。
The third important aspect of exchange is to strengthen the friendship and understanding between people in the community.
使我们共同认识到， 这个世界的精彩正在于它存在不同的文明与不同的文化是和而不同的。
Which makes all the people realize that the wonder of the world lies in the various aspects of culture.
而我们的善良和正直，使我们共同致力于让这个世界和我们生存的家园更加美好。
So the kindness and integrity enthroned in the program has made us realize the importance of making the world a better place to live.
疫情期间，我们的交流项目被打断了。
The exchange program was put on hiatus due to pandemic.
但疫情隔不断我们的思念和友谊。
But pandemic is not going to stop our friendship.
我们在疫情期间始终相互关心、相互帮助、相互支持。
All throughout the pandemic, we have been caring and helping each other.
我想我们真正的友谊可以跨越浩瀚的太平洋，也可以战胜疫情。
I believe that our friendship will cross the Pacific Ocean and will cross any pandemic.
我期待在疫情被控制、恢复国际旅行之时，我们尽快恢复良好的交流。
I hope that post-pandemic era, we can resume our international exchange as soon as possible.
2024年是牛顿学区景山学校交流项目整整40周年了。
2024 will be the 40th anniversary of Newton and Jingshan exchange.
我将亲自带领景山学校师生代表团访问牛顿学区。
In 2024, I myself will lead the Jingshan delegation to visit Newton.
牛顿学区师生代表团在合适的时间访问景山学校。
I also sincerely invite delegation from Newton to visit Jingshan School.
我们就校的发展及我们友好交流项目的可持续发展，深入的面对面的进行交流和研讨。
We are going to discuss the future of education and sustainability of our exchange program.
最后，我深切的缅怀肯特夫妇，他们的每位老师都是这个项目的奠基人。
Finally, I want to express my sincere condolences and commemorate Mr. and Mrs. Cantor, who were the first exchange teachers with Fang Bihui, Mr. Fang Bihui.
我最诚挚的感谢为这个友好交流项目顺利进行所有付出努力的朋友们。
I want to express my appreciation to all the friends who are helping out with our exchange program.
祝你们一切都好。
Wish everybody well.
期待着我们不久的将来在牛顿见面。感谢大家。
I really hope we can see each other in person in Newton very soon. Thank you very much. 张主任，您还讲两句吗？
我就陈老师您好。
您好，您好。
刚才范校长、副校长都把我们两个学校的情况都讲得非常好，也都有了美好的这个祝福期待。我想呢，借今天这个机会呢，表达两个。
So Zhang 主任，您等一下，帮您翻译一下。Ms. Zhang is the program coordinator in Jingshan School. So she wants to express her good wishes to all of us. So she has a few words to say. 好，您讲。
好，第一就是表达我的心情啊，今天
She is extremely happy today, very excited.
我是2002年负责参与咱们这个交流的活动项目。
She started. She has started being in charge of the program in 2002, and to this year it's 20 years. ，Through the 20 years I've been involved in the program, I myself have learned so much.
所以我也想借今天我们这个机会，也表达我对咱们牛顿所有参与这项项目和我一起完成这个交流项目的老师们也表示感谢。
I want to express my appreciation to all the teachers, administration in Newton Public School and the community who are also supportive and involved in the program.
我也希望我们马上后边我们能够尽快的开展这个交流项目，为咱们项目继续做我的努力。
I also hope we can resume our program as soon as possible, and I will work really hard to help our program thrive.
借今天我们这个会议，我也想代表该学校，向我们牛顿先发起一个倡议。我们现在这个方案呢也正在设计中。
On behalf of Jingshan, I want to initiate a proposal, but the proposal is still in the progress of making.
我们将发起你好未来全球青少年发展的倡议。
So the proposal is called Hello Future, the Global Youth Development Program.
那么这个倡议，首先呢，我们也希望我们牛顿的师生能够积极参与。
I really hope students from Newton will participate.
通过这个倡议活动，我们能够在文化、体育、科技、绿色环保、志愿人数等方面开展相互的交流活动。
This proposal will enable us to collaborate on culture, physical education, technology, green technology, and forgot the last one. 对不起，当时我忘了一个。文化、体育、绿色科技。
文化
volunteer
在绿色。
好 and volunteer
志愿服务。
yeah, volunteering. 好，您讲，我已经翻译完了。
好，谢谢。那么我们这个方案在最后设计完以后，首先我会
好，谢谢。Once the proposal is finalized, Ms. Zhang and I will collaborate and we will promote it to the among students. 好的，张主任。
好，那我们就期待着我们的交流活动。
We really expect we hope our exchange will resume very soon. 好的，翻译好。
好，
那谢谢两位校长，谢谢张主任，谢谢刘老师。那我们现在就进行这个下一项的这个活动，好吧？那刘老师您会在线上我一会儿给您拨过去，我们请您来分享方碧辉老师的这个言语，可以吗？可以。好，那我们现在先挂掉这个微信，好吧？好，谢谢各位老师，拜拜。
can find my mouse. Hello. Is it on? Yep. Okay. A little closer to my nose. Okay, hi. I'm Heather Drossbeck along with Carol of the co-chairs of our Jingshan Exchange Committee. And at this time, we would like to start actual awarding of our Friend of the Exchange. And we would like to invite Tony Romer, Assistant Superintendent, to come up to present that award for this evening.
Thank you, Heather. Thank you, everyone. I'd like to share my welcome with everyone on behalf of the Newton Public Schools Administration. Newton Superintendent Kathleen Smith, who's here today with us. I'd like to welcome and greet Principal Fan, Principal Q, Program Director Zhang, Department Head Liu. Also acknowledge our NPS leaders who are present. We've heard from many of them, or about many of them, but Principal Turner, Principal Strauss from Newton South, who's here via Zoom. All the members of the Jingshan Committee who've helped organize and put tonight's event together, as well as the incredible members of the community, gathered alumni and guests. It's a real pleasure to be here with everyone. I also want to acknowledge former Superintendent Erwin Blummer, who's here with us tonight. I've drawn the daunting task of presenting the Friend of the Exchange Award to a man who needs little introduction in this room tonight, or it seems any crowd of educators in Newton or even Beijing. So you can feel a little bit bad for me if you want to, but I think I can handle it. After all of our festivities thus far, I'm starting to wonder if there's anything that our award winner tonight has not done. And let you know a few of the innumerable roles that he has served in over his illustrious career. An educator in the Newton Public Schools for 28 years, Newton North High School principal for 9 of those years, superintendent in Winchester, Massachusetts, a slight dalliance there, acting superintendent here in the Newton Public Schools, and I understand acting superintendent in dozens of other Eastern Massachusetts communities as well, as legend has it. I might add, he only served 3 short years as assistant superintendent, so I count that in my column. Not that this is a competition. He was also served as a longtime mentor and friend to our current acting superintendent, Kathy Smith, and she's happy to be here tonight to celebrate as well. In addition to this stellar resume, members of the Jingshan Committee noted to me in preparing for tonight's event numerous other qualities that our award winner has that are relevant to his designation as a Friend of the Exchange. Our awardee provided the warmest welcome receptions to Jingshan students and faculty members over dozens of years at Newton North and here in the Newton Public Schools. He made sure that exchange students and teachers were introduced to the faculty, local dignitaries, and other members of the school community. He was always especially excited, I understand, about having Jingshan students on Newton North extracurricular activities, in particular the math team, I understand, was a key recruiting goal of his. He was very focused on the details of making sure every accommodation was provided, down to making sure students had access to the delicious lunch options here in the cafeteria or in the former building. As you heard already, he made a strong lifetime bond with his counterpart, Principal Fan, and as his shadow here at Newton North and in Beijing, earning the nickname Marini from Principal Fan. I heard about that. You heard as well, he traveled to China in 1996 and again in 2010 when he helped with the Newton delegation celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Jingshan School in Beijing. He even recently served as an MC for the virtual ceremony presenting the Friend of the Exchange Award to Charlotte Mason just 2 short years ago. So as we know, a Friend of the Exchange is someone who has demonstrated tremendous support of the exchange, such as providing services or resources over time, leaving a sustained impact on the exchange, advocating for and raising the visibility of the exchange, broadening access to the exchange for students and community members, and continuing to display commitment to the ongoing growth and development of the exchange. I can think of no one more deserving than this award today than our recipient, Jim Murray. Jim, please come forward.
I certainly had a great exchange with Mr. Fund. I mean, really, he's a lot of fun. He's a great guy. He works hard, and he's all hard. But I'll tell you what the exchange program really means to me. And it is lifelong. It is serious. It's meaningful. China's half a world away. And what it really does for those who are involved, it allows you to see beyond cultural differences, language barriers, even political barriers. You see right clean through to the humanity that rests in all of us. And the program allows you to actually grow that, to see that, to honor that, and to respect that and value that in a way that in the program, on the facing page, it says, it's a small world, read it over and over and over because it's true. And the program breathes life into that. So when you walk away having participated in the program, you have a better understanding of what it means if you have friends and you know people as individuals. It just cuts through all that nonsense and we are one world, and the program does it. I hope Newton keeps this forever and ever and ever. Thank you. I feel privileged to be a part of Newton and to be a part of this program. Thank you.
In addition to the plaque of recognition that Jim received, there's also a plaque that I want to present to Superintendent Smith, which bears his name as the 2022 Friend of the Exchange Service Award winner. And this plaque lives in the Newton Public Schools Superintendent's office. So I'm going to give this to you, Kathy, to take charge of, and we'll get it back on the wall where you'll be recognized.
Everybody's falling over for me. Just a little change of pace. I'm really, my heart is warmed by your comments and by the exchange that I just observed. What a great bunch of people, and what a great opportunity it's been for me and for everybody. And a little change of pace in that we want to take this opportunity to recognize and to celebrate the founders of the Jingshan Exchange, Claire and Dick Cantor, who passed away a year ago. It was in 1979 that the door to China had just been opened, and one of our new teachers, Claire Cantor, a special ed teacher and music teacher, went to Beijing with her husband Dick because he was exploring business possibilities in Beijing. And while he was there, one evening at dinner, Claire met a Chinese English teacher named Fang Wei, and they struck a friendship right away and a professional connection. Well, Claire just wanted to visit a Chinese school. Little did she know that the school where Fang Wei taught was the famous Beijing Jingshan School. It was famous because it was developing and disseminating modern curriculum, and it was famous because of the influential families who sent their children to that school. And Claire found out that she couldn't just visit the Jingshan School. She had to wait for permission from the authorities before she could go to that school, but she was not deterred. Every time Dick went to Beijing, she went along, and she and Fang Wei worked together in the hotel room developing English lessons for the Jingshan students. And they were creating dialogues, they were adapting some poems, they were recording some songs, which Fang Wei later taught on Chinese television. And Claire learned that it would take special permission, so it was 2 years later that she finally got that special permission. And the Jingshan school was ready to receive her, to welcome her. And students lined the alleyway on the way to the Jingshan school. And on the playing field had been placed a platform with a grand piano. And Claire and Wei thought, it's a small world after all, to hundreds of Jingshan students wearing their school uniforms and red pioneer scarves. And following Claire's visit, there were numerous delegations of Newton Exchange teachers and students, not students, teachers and administrators, and Jingshan teachers and administrators visiting back and forth, exploring the possibility of having some kind of a school exchange program. And finally, in 1985, Newton welcomed the first group from the Jingshan school. There were 3 teachers, one of whom was Fan Wei, and 3 students. One of the host moms in that first group was here with us this evening. Helene Bailey, would you stand up? This woman has stories to tell, and she's wonderful at telling them. Just ask. And also with us on Zoom later will be Huang Hong, the young man whom she hosted in that first delegation. People get hooked on this exchange program. The next fall, Newton sent his first delegation of teachers and students. There were 2 teachers and 4 amazing students, and I was one of those teachers. And that began the very first U.S.-China pre-collegiate high school exchange with full semester stays and host families on both sides. And it became a model that other schools could learn from and replicate. The first several years, Claire attended almost all of the steering committee meetings, and she helped to select the students and teachers that would go. She was very involved, and she and Dick went about raising funds to support this fledgling exchange program. They donated funds for a special project, which was an outdoor weekend for the Newton and Jingshan exchange students. We now made this outdoor weekend the Jill Birnbaum weekend, named after a wonderful student who was in our second exchange group, and her parents are here tonight. Buzz and Margie. Claire and Dick always remained very interested, very proud, and were always eager for news about the alumni. What were their studies, what were their careers. They stayed in contact with their friends at the Jingshan school, and in 2010, they attended the happenings at the Jingshan school to celebrate the 50th anniversary, and they reconnected with so many of their old friends. And in 2016, Claire and Dick received the Friends of the Exchange Award that Jim received tonight. Given the current U.S.-China political dynamics, it's really timely for us to remember that at the first meetings in late 1970s and early 1980s, there was plenty of mistrust on both sides. But people met as people, and eyes were opened, and friendships grew, and what looked impossible actually happened and flourished. So today our work is to find ways to keep alive the flame that Claire sparked. A school-to-school friendship that is unique investment toward peace and understanding between our people.
Recording by Charlotte Mason, who was among the first exchange teachers in Jingshan. tries to find my mouse. Sorry.
It's on your left.
Oh my God.
This way.
Oh. Right. Direct me to play. Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank you.
I first met Claire Danner when I interviewed the exchange teacher. It was in 1989. And she asked piercing questions, and I wasn't sure who she was. But it was probably the most difficult job interview I've ever experienced. And one of the things that is absolutely true to Claire herself is that once you were part of her program, she was fully committed to helping you succeed. Throughout the years of the exchange program, I would call Claire for advice, extra resources, introductions, whatever was needed, and she always responded favorably. She not only maintained her connections with all of us here in Newton, she also kept in touch with her counterparts in China. On the way, especially, co-founder of this program in Chinese. Claire and Foundry Way were definitely double founders of the first degree. They were both fierce, loyal, engaged, and visionary. Each was devoted to a vision of person-to-person diplomacy, lifetime learning, fearless pursuit of goals, high standards, and a deep intercultural understanding through which peace could be made, world peace could be made through local effort. Dick was Claire's loyal henchman. He was very proud of her presence. He supported her in every way. He traveled with her. He helped her. He encouraged her. And interestingly, amazingly, they died the way they lived together, very much according to their goals and their plans and their self-images. And they are missed.
So I'm just very conscientious of the time. So why don't we switch the time a little bit? So we're gonna present the scrapbook so that I can find my mouse and move this back and have Wanhua back on Zoom. Is that okay? Yeah, okay.
Jeffrey very kindly, when we got together and were meeting over Zoom and planning this event, shared that he had a scrapbook of photos and memorabilia from his parents' early time in the exchange, and he is gifting that to us to make it part of our archive. We want to thank him for giving us that wonderful treasure.
And we would like to offer you this certificate of appreciation for the work that your parents did and for coming back and helping us to honor their contribution.
I like this. Here we go. Can you get a bigger one? First of all the words tonight that have been talked about the program, my parents, the flame they lit. It's an honor to be here and recognize that. And I want to say thank you, and I'm very humbled to be here. As my father would always say, before speaking to anybody, public, he would say, as unaccustomed as I am to public speaking. And then he would go on to do this big long speech. I'm not going to do that today. But you know, all the words here about them, about this program, ring true. Those of you who knew my parents knew that they were a force of nature. They were, you know, undeterred. I learned perseverance, relentlessness, ferocity, loyalty. All the words that have already been spoken about them tonight by different people. That's a lot of what I learned and has made, you know, part of me who I am. So I thank them for all of that. In terms of the program here, they lit the flame. Their life. My father was 91. My mother was 89. Again, as was already spoken about, they went out the way that they lived. They chose the way of leaving. They lit the spark and they left it to grow. And they watched it grow, which is truly, you know, if we could all have that experience in our lifetimes, it would be really amazing. I can only tell you in terms of how it affected me, many different ways. One way that I remember very clearly was on my wedding day, when my wife and I got married at Anthony's Pier 4. For those of you that remember that, people that don't remember, you can, whatever, it's youngsters. But we got married, and then after the wedding, and we actually had some people come in to sing. Friends of ours came in and did a beautiful song, and then my mother said, wait a minute, and in troops about 10 Chinese folks from China that she had invited to our wedding, unbeknownst to me. And of course, as you know, in my wedding, there it is, it's a small world. The whole group, my mother gets up, grabs the microphone away from anybody, from the band and from whoever, and starts singing, It's a Small World After All. And it was like, oh well, that's my mom. And so it was, you know, it rings true, that's who she was. And if she was here tonight, she would grab this microphone and we'd all be singing It's a Small World. We may be doing it anyway, with her spirit. So I thank the force of nature that they were, what they imparted to me, and to see it as it's imparted to you all is truly remarkable for me to see. And you know, this was an accident, I had no idea. I do want to say my brother's child, Ariel, had written a piece in the New York Times, and that's what Nancy had seen, and Nancy got a hold of her, she put her in touch with me, and that's how this started. And then Nancy had asked to see if I could provide any pictures or anything, and I went down. I'm the keeper of the Cantor files. I have at least 25 to 30 scrapbooks from my mother that go back to before she was even married. And going through them all, I happened to find the scrapbook of their trip in 1979, is that what it was? Their first trip to China, and the pictures in Beijing, and the people that they met. So I felt it was in better hands with this program than stuck in the back of a bookcase in the basement of my house. This is where it really belongs. This is where their heart is, and so I'm very happy to give this all. And I want to thank you for inviting me and allowing me to be part of this. It's really a pleasure for me to sing. So thank you.
We have one exchange student, Wang Hua, who was on the first trip, and he's on Zoom. And then we are having, so Fang Bihui, who was the first exchange teacher, she heard the passing of Mr. and Mrs. Cantor. She was too devastated to be on WeChat, therefore she asked Ms. Liu Tao to say a few words. So we have two more, and then we're going to sing.
Can you hear me well?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Maybe I should share my screen. Because I have my phone. Can you see it? Yep. You can see it. I think that's fine. Hello everyone. So a self-introduction. My name is Hua Wang. I was one of the first exchange students into Beijing Jingshan. Cantor, and some of my experience as an exchange student. First, the memories of Richard and Claire Cantor. I remember Claire Cantor as a caring special education teacher. So I was invited for a special education class of Claire Cantor. That was my first experience in China. At that time, we didn't have a chance to go to these kind of classrooms. But Claire Cantor, at that time, she was a special education teacher and also a music teacher. She played music very pleasant on piano, and then she sang a song with the student, and also tried to teach the student to pronounce the words in the song. And she was very patient, and that was impressive. Okay, because I never didn't have a chance to go through like these kind of classes in the past, so that was very impressive. And Claire normally, she talks very slow, so everyone can understand her very easily. That was my first memory of her. The other, I remember Richard and Claire Cantor as friends, young students. So one night, Richard and Claire Cantor invited only the exchange students, without teachers, to dinner at a restaurant in Boston. So at that time, I was a teenager. Inside, we were actually intimidated by the important people. So in my mind, I was thinking, well, only the students with the important adults, how are we to address their questions? And Richard and Claire Cantor, they really know how to make young students feel comfortable and engage in conversations. We talked a lot of things, such as schools, and of course, Richard told us about the American football. So I felt we were not treated as just little kids. So the next time, I'm going to share some of my experience as an exchange student. So I believe experience is such a personal thing. Sometimes it's very hard to convey or full understanding by others, unless the other people have similar experiences. For the exchange, the impact to myself is it allowed me to experience different cultures and have different views. So after I left Newton, that was in January 1986, so many events occurred in the world, as everyone knows about this. And while I was in college, I could feel, sometimes I view what happened around us a little differently than my classmates. So without this exchange program, in my early life, I don't think I would have such diversified views of what is around me. And I feel blessed by this opportunity. And also, I stayed with two host families. I felt the warmth of my host families, and for which I learned the meaning of giving. So a big thank you to Richard and Claire Cantor for starting this exchange program, and all the host families, and everyone who has contributed tirelessly to this exchange program. It is really an honor for me to be here. Thank you for your attention.
All right, so next one is the last technology piece I'm going to do is the WeChat. So if people can find my mouse again.
Upper left.
To the left. All right. Visible. Oh, okay, here it is. Okay, 谢谢王华，我先画个 我们可以看到你。
好的好的。能听到声音吗？
可以。So Liu Tao is going to say a few words on behalf of Fang Bihui, who was the first exchange teacher or host teacher from Jingshan. 好，刘老师，您请。
Hello everyone, good evening, and it's a great honor for me to talk to you. And just now, with so many guests around me, I have no chance to talk, but keep a smiling face. And so finally, it's my turn, although the words were not from me. So I'm going to read the letter of Mr. Fang Bihui. Dear friends, old and new, I'm Fang Bihui, a retired English teacher from the Beijing Jingshan School. Since I'm not here with town these days, I invite my young colleague, the representative of the new generation of Jingshan English teachers, to express my sincere thoughts at this special moment. First, I would like to express my condolences to Mr. and Mrs. Hunter. My memories of them go back to 1979 when we first met. In the following 40 years, we have kept in touch in many ways until they passed away last year. Such friendship has already become part of my life and will be with me forever. Our story started as business partners, but eventually contributed to this legendary exchange program between Beijing Public Schools and the Beijing Jingshan School, which was officially approved and started in 1984. Benefits hundreds of young people from China and America. I wish a forever lasting friendship between the youth of both countries. In memory of the tremendous help from Mrs. Hunter, I have edited the English rhymes and songs she taught me into a new way, Learn English through rhymes and songs, hoping it will help future young students in our school to learn English and to remember Mrs. Hunter as an affable teacher and companion. Mr. and Mrs. Hunter's effort and contribution to enhance the friendship between Chinese and American young people will live forever in our hearts. That's all. Thank you.
So now we're going to sing. Thanks to Ben. So everybody has the lyrics in the program book.
All right, everybody. So, I think you know the song. I think you know the song. If you know it in Chinese, it's a small world after all. Try your best. It's good. The great thing about going to China is how forgiving the Chinese teachers and students were, and how patient they were when you were learning Chinese. It was absolutely wonderful. So please try your best. Please sing. It's a world of laughter, a world of tears. It's a world of hope and a world of fears. There's so much that we share that it's time we're aware. It's a small world after all. 世界爱的小世界，世界爱的小世界，世界爱的小世界，来分享一些。
small world after all. It's a small world after all. It's a small world after all. It's a small, small world.
Appreciate that the hour is late. And I really don't have a whole lot I can offer after all of the wonderful things that have been shared here this evening. I have to say, I didn't realize when we were planning this what it would be like seeing our old friends from Jingshan and kind of bringing me back. I was actually part of the last group that went to Jingshan in 2019. Carol went the year before I did. So, I don't know, my heart's a little full right now. I'd mostly like to make sure I thank all of you for attending here tonight. You know, without you and your support, all of you in this room, you know, we wouldn't have this program. I'd particularly like to thank Nancy Fenstermacher, our head of our meetings, keeping us all in line and making sure every little small detail of this event went just right. And I have to thank Star. I can do that. And she did a wonderful job tonight. So thank you so much for helping make this event happen. You know, we talked about this spark that was lit by the Cantors over 40 years ago. And so many have been carrying this flame over the years. Jim being one that we recognize tonight, many others in this room. Carol and I humbly kind of hold on to this right now and are doing our best during this time of COVID when we haven't been able to have an exchange. But being here tonight and hearing from everyone and hearing from our friends from China, I feel hopeful that we can find our way you know, to an exchange again. I didn't know 2024 was going to be that 40th anniversary, so maybe that's a good mark out there to make sure we get this going by then. So once again, thank you all for coming tonight. You know, the flame was lit long ago by Claire Cantor, and you know, we're going to keep this burning and get that exchange going again. So, good night.
Could I ask my administration team, my bosses, to stay for a little bit? Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Have a good night.
Did you hear my alto too? Yeah. Back. I really went for it. Yeah, I was like, I got to break.